Welcome to Wingin' It with Wingo with me as your host, Derek Wingo, where we're bringing Gator Nation closer to their athletes through weekly deep dives and into player stories with exclusive behind-the-scenes access. Welcome to Wingin' It with Wingo for episode 11, brought to you by Florida Victorious. If you don't know too much about Florida Victorious, they're a fan club that offers memberships from $15 to $250 a month that helps give us behind-the-scenes access, do things like this, and do things off the field. Get to see our personality and what we are more like outside of just a guy with a helmet on the field or maybe a jersey on the basketball court. So we'll get right into it. Our fun fact of the day, did you know this is the first time since 2016 the Gators have won 3 SEC honors in the same week? Shamar James, DJ Lagway, and Trey Smack. Actually coincidental. The last time was actually 8 years ago versus LSU as well. I mean, Trey Smack, got to bring that guy up again real quick. I mean, he could have hit that first field goal from beyond 60. I mean, we all knew it was going in right when it came off the tee, and he smacked it. I mean, no pun intended. Since we're already talking about it, we'll get into the LSU game. Some might say the curse is broken. I don't know. The defense showing up once again. I mean, I got to do media a little bit this week, and we talked about, what has changed since the beginning of the season. I know that's a freaking question that is always asked. What's the difference? What has ignited this team to kind of come out and just compete each and every week? And it just goes back to practice habits, all the things we're doing, being critical on the little details, and just execution. Finding the love for the game, enjoying, loving being out there, and then when your number's called, being able to get the job done and execute. So it's pretty cool. We had 7 sacks total as a defense. DJ's out there doing DJ things. There were some funny moments. So when the defense is on the sidelines and, we're on the iPad making adjustments and all you hear is the song, it's "Go DJ, that's my DJ." And then you hear the oohs and the ahs. And, we're all looking up back and forth from the iPad. And then you got to talk about the play, right? It looks like DJ's going to get sacked, steps up in the pocket, and we're all like, throw it to Chim. Nope, we're going deep to Badge. That's what DJ does. Able to make some plays on his feet, extend the ball, and then get it to his receivers. Chim had a great day. Badge had a great day. So the guy's definitely special. I mean, I'm excited to see them in the future. People talk about, I heard the little whispers, a little bit of almost a Tebow effect. It's pretty funny because when we're singing the alma mater after the game, there's more camera guys and media people like barging in between us to take pictures than us, all next to each other. We're all linked in arms and stuff like that. And they're all trying to budge in there and take pictures. So it's pretty funny. It's a surreal feeling. It feels good to have a lot of guys back healthy, playing at a high caliber level, big time rivalry game, SEC game. And then we got to talk about entering the fourth quarter, right? The Tom Petty song. That was one of the most amazing Tom Petty songs I've been a part of. It was kind of a surreal moment, right? I looked at Jamarcus Weston was sitting right next to me when they were singing. I looked at him. I said, "Hey, Jamarcus, this is our last one under the lights." And we just looked at each other and just had that surreal moment of, understanding that, nothing in the country is better than having the Tom Petty song going in the fourth quarter down in the swamp with 93,000 people. I think that was definitely one of the best ones throughout the season, if not the best since I've been there. So we got to bring it up. Got to rate Coach Napier's gritty after the game. Gosh. So I gave him a 6 in the press conference earlier this week. We might have to get him some dancing lessons. It was kind of a funny moment. I remember in the beginning of this season, we were hyping the guys up. We're always kind of singing songs before we go into team meeting. Coach Napier walks in. We're always trying to get him hyped up and dancing. And we tried to get him to do the gritty. And he goes, this is a while back. And he goes, "All gritty after we beat LSU." Guess the guys remembered, held him accountable for it, got him to gritty in the locker room. Wasn't the best performance from him, but hey, I mean, he got to do it, got all the guys hyped up. All the recruits were in there. It was absolutely amazing, just atmosphere, pre-game, during the game, post-game. So it was definitely a night to remember. And then, when you talk about just, you seeing the guys' love for the game, right? And I keep bringing it back to that, just when we were singing the alma mater after the game, guys linked up, and, it just goes back to show how much we've been through this season, right? How much we've overcome, all the injuries we've had, all the setbacks we've had, and then just being able to stick together as a team throughout this entire process is just absolutely amazing. That kind of shows, the culture and the identity that Coach Napier's kind of built and just continuing on to build with all the different people that have been put in, the leadership roles and the different kinds of things to be able to build such an amazing program and continue it out from from that. But last week, the Gators won. That's all that matters. And then it's almost senior day, right? Really surreal moment for me. 12 a.m. versus Ole Miss. The guys get to walk out before the game and take pictures with Coach Napier and, with your family. Get those pretty cool pictures. Get them framed in your house. And then I'll definitely take it in myself. Just understanding, the last time being in the swamp, spent a lot of time out there after the game, and then definitely after we talk in the locker room, coming out one last time just to get a look at it. It's a surreal experience, just understanding, being here for 5 years, experiencing so much, been through so much. And, at the end of the day, I'm proud to say that I'm a Florida Gator. I've been here in one spot for my entire college career. And, that's what actually brings me back to like the transfer portal almost, right? So I'm a guy that's almost against the transfer portal specifically for me. I've had a ton of questions, why don't you transfer and do this and do that? One of the main reasons was just, being able to have a place that you could always say that was home, right? Being a place, 20 years down the road when you have kids in your family that, you can bring them back here too and say, you were a part of this, you were a part of that, your name's on the wall. And, some of these guys that transfer 2 or 3 times, you can't do that. I feel like you don't have that respect when you're at a place, for the entire 4 to 5 years or whatever it might be when you're transferring around and there's different head coaches, different position coaches, and it's all different. But the University of Florida, I can say that I've been here my entire college career, a place that I'll definitely bring my family back to and be able to enjoy games later on in the swamp. So I'm super excited for this one upcoming 12 a.m. in the swamp. It's definitely going to be packed. Senior day. I'm excited for this class, man. We have a lot of guys that this is going to be their last time in the swamp. So definitely nothing to take for granted, to enjoy it. But when we come back, we'll have Kendra Falby on to talk about some softball, a little bit of stuff from last season, this upcoming season, and just get to see, I've heard she's pretty fast. I've seen she's pretty fast. So it'll be pretty cool to chop it up with her, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Wingin with Wingo for episode 11. Got my special guest here. Kendra, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name's Kendra Falby. I'm a softball player here at the University of Florida. I'm a center fielder, and I'm a senior.
Number 27. So, I've heard there's been a little bit of a nickname, Lightning McQueen. The SSE Network made the edit of Lightning McQueen when you kind of hit the inside the park home run, ran around all the bases. You got to take me kind of through that right out the gate. What would that kind of like? Just sprinting all the way across, and then just did you know it was even like being fumbled out there in the outfield?
So like when I do like crazy things, I tend to black out. Like I actually don't remember anything that happened. I just remember like going up to bat and just being like, okay, like just do what you got to do. And then I see the ball down, and Charlotte's at first base, and she's like waving me to go. And then Coach Walton's like going crazy at third, running, and like the whole place is silent because we're playing Oklahoma in the World Series for like the first game where you have to double dip them, and the whole place is silent, like everyone's in shock. And I just remember just like. That's all I remember. Like literally, I don't remember anything.
Just run. We gotta get your 40 time because it was pretty fast.
Everyone asked me that. They're like, "What's your 40?" I'm like, we don't run 40s.
You don't run 40s. You guys do like the 60 or something like that. But all right, so when you do, obviously hit the balls like that, and then you do hit a home run. Do you realize that when you hit a home run, you could go slow and you don't have to sprint around all the bases?
Everybody tells me you can slow down, and I'm like, it's just pure adrenaline at that point because I'm not supposed to hit home runs. That's not my thing.
So I got to go to my first softball game last year, actually. I got to catch a foul ball. That was a pretty cool moment. And then I kind of just sit there with all the parents, get to have my hot dog and just kind of enjoy the game. I've heard some questionable walk-up songs. What's your kind of walk-up song? Why'd you choose it? And then, like, how do you guys go about making the decision of just, picking each one for each game?
Yeah, I had New Level by A$AP Rocky. A$AP Rocky. And I just did that because, like, I'm in college now. Like, whatever. Like, I'm on a new level. But then I chose, like, my junior year. I was like, okay, it's time to, like, level up from that. So I chose Magic Stick kind of because, like, I'm supposed to be the one that gets on base and our, like, home run hitters hit me in, so
got you.
So I picked Magic.
So what happens if someone like chooses the same song? Do you guys like talk about it before, or
it's like a seniority thing? So like you kind of know beforehand. Like,
you'll like tell them, I'm picking this song, you can't pick it.
Like I love my freshman, but if a freshman picks the song, I'm gonna be like, you gotta pick another one.
Yeah, you gotta pick another. I chose that one first. I've heard some pretty cool ones, and like we're always sitting there with all the guys when we go watch the game. We're getting all kind of hyped up, and then it's pretty cool. Definitely something cool to watch. All right, so does anyone? I had to ask, I can't remember which person it was. You had a weird one. Has anyone gotten, like, judged by it? Like, had just picked a weird one and been like, what are you doing? Or, like, how does that even get you hyped to go up to bat?
Honestly, like, everyone's walk-up song fits them. Like
all
Corby's
different
walk-up song fits her.
personalities.
Oh yeah, like everyone's walk-up song just fits them perfectly. Like,
And then
it
they
makes
change.
sense.
I've seen them change too in the second half. Do you have to like, you're talking about you being like superstitious. Like, say like, I'm not batting well the first half of the season. Let's change the walk-up song. Is it like, is that how it works, or they just change it on their own?
They kind of just change it on their own. They're like, you can pick 2 walk-up songs, so you can have one if you want, or you don't have to. So I don't think last year I had another one. I was like, I'm
goes with
gonna
the
take
flow.
one and just run with it.
Just run with it. All right, and then I got to bring it up, the hand slice. I don't know too much about it, but the audience always sees when you guys get on base, it's the double, you
Yeah.
guys have single ones. What is that? Who came up with that?
So
Kind of
like
what
that's
is...
kind of just been like a thing that we've done. Like it's been passed down through generations. So like if you've been a Gator softball player, you just do them. So we have like baby Gator, like that's a single, and then like double, and then we do like what basketball does for 3. So it's like Kendra Falby.
And there's
for
like a
3.
steel one too.
And then steel we do like swing and we like fly because we're
Fly
like
'cause you're
flying.
stealing. Gosh, that's something I've never seen before. So everyone's like sitting there questioning, like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. All right, you guys don't have a Gator walk, but I've seen you guys like to be creative, kind of do your little fit checks. And then you guys also had the Halloween practice, got to do your costumes. What kind of goes into some of the fit checks, and then got to see your grandma outfit for Halloween?
So we started doing fit checks when Coach Anaya came in. She used to play here, and then I kind of brought up to her. I was like, we don't get to do like fit checks or anything, and like I love that stuff. And she was like, okay, so like why not for SECs we'll do like when we have a big SEC series we'll do like a fit check. And I was like, perfect. So we told the team you can kind of come in whatever you want. And then we did one where we were like all dressed up. Someone like Corby wanted to be like Elvis for me. Like she wanted to walk in as Elvis because hers is like looking for trouble. So we were like, okay, so we all dressed up as like a character, just like keeping it fun and loose and like try not to be too serious. And then Halloween, I love Halloween. So I knew that softball practice was on Halloween finally because that has never happened in my career. And I was like, Coach Walton, can we dress up? And he was like, yeah. And there's like an ongoing joke that I'm like the grandma now because I'm a senior.
Getting old.
So I was,
it's like me.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll be a grandma. And then of course I had to be extra with it and get a mask and stuff.
Did you guys practice in the outfit?
Yes, like I was
gosh.
like, if I'm gonna be a grandma today, like I'm gonna fit the role perfectly.
I could just see it, run around the bases in the grandma outfit.
In the grandma outfit.
So funny. All right, so last year you also got to win the Golden Glove. For the people that don't know, kind of explain what that is and then what it was like just kind of winning that, being able to have that huge trophy.
Yeah, the Golden Glove is basically just an award that they basically say you're the best person in that position, like out of all of D1 college softball. So when I got it, I was very like, because it was on the day that we were practicing at the World Series, like before we played. And Coach Walton's like, okay, like we're going to have everyone like come one more thing. And we're like, another media thing? Like what else do we have to do? Like we're so tired. And we walk in and Bailey Goddard hits me and she's like, Kendra. And I'm like, oblivious. Like, what? Like, what's going on? And she was like, your name's up there. And I'm like, no way. And then, like, I look up there, and then, like, it was immediate, like, I just, like, tears of, like, joy.
Oh, that's so
like,
cool.
It was, like, because, like, you worked so hard for that, and then to be recognized for that was, like, just so amazing.
Especially at the World Series, too, with all the emotions already being there, and then just...
And we had the cool media day stuff, and then it was, like, that was, like, the icing on the cake, and it was, like, all right, like... Forget this. Let's go win the whole thing.
Yeah. So then after that, I mean, what's it like going to Omaha? Like, I got to go on the field last year after you guys going to the World Series. And then just obviously you guys are up there for like a week or whatever it might be, going through all that. Like, what's it like actually being there, competing with those different teams, and then just kind of gets to play in the atmosphere, something different than playing here in Gainesville or some of the away travel games. Obviously it's a huge tournament for, the championship. So
yeah, I mean, it's the biggest stage in softball, like in softball in general. So I mean, being able to play in front of like 12,000 people, like I love it. I love the adrenaline. Like I envy you guys. I wish I could play in front of 95,000 people every single weekend. Like that is so cool. So it's just like, it's so fun. And then it's just like, you're on such a high adrenaline of like, we can do it. Like we're here now. Like might as well just try. Like why else? So
you guys got to win the SEC championship. I've been to the SEC championship, but we never actually won it. You definitely have that over me. I got to see on your Instagram too the trophy. You're holding it like this.
Yes.
And just think sure huge. What was it like just holding that? You guys had all the pictures with the SEC signs, made the TikToks. Just winning that, then knowing you're continuing on. To be able to go to Omaha after that.
It was just like a big momentum push. And like we knew we could do it. And like we kind of just wanted, it was like that we're the best in the SEC. Like, it was like really cool to like be able to do it. And that week was so long too. It was raining, and we're in Auburn, and we had to drive. We didn't get to fly, so it's just like all these factors. And it's like if we can get through all of this, like it's gonna be a perfect push, and it was a perfect push.
Yeah. So I got to bring her up. Your mom, obviously your biggest supporter, always gets to travel to a lot of the games. The games that I've been to. She's the loudest one in the stands.
Oh, my God.
Always whistling, always cheering for you, going crazy, running down. And, that's my daughter, number 27, that's my daughter. What's it like, being close to home, being from Tampa, just always having her to support you?
Well, if you haven't met Jennifer Falby, I don't think you're a softball fan because she knows everybody. She knows everyone, but it's like super nice to like be able to pick a school that they can come to like every single game. Like it's 2 hours away.
Yeah.
It's not far, and it like having them is just like there's no words to put into it. Like how grateful I am.
Just
for
that
her.
support system
Just that
for
support
you
system.
is amazing. And then do you ever have the chance to actually hear her whistles or hear her yell at you?
So I'm trying to say I'm really locked
Try
in,
to block
but
it
that
out.
whistle is so loud. Like it is so loud. Like I hear her. I do hear her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone in the stadium already does. All right, so for softball, softball does a lot of amazing things, right? They do the yellow game for pediatric cancer. I've seen after games they let the kids run down on all the bases. Giving back so much, not only just NIL. I know you use your platform very well. What are some of the things kind of you've been able to do just as a college athlete that get to expand your platform and then just you get to have the opportunity to do?
Well, coming into a program that was so dedicated to something like that was really important to me because it just showed that like they're into things that aren't just softball.
Yeah.
And that's something like the yellow game is dedicated to Heather Braswell, who passed away. So like just being able to continue that legacy and knowing how important that is like super important to me because it's like we're keeping something alive and like the fans are so into it. And like that's just like truly amazing.
Yeah. No, I think that's the amazing thing about just the University of Florida as itself. Just understanding, obviously the sports are amazing, the academics are amazing, but just like the things that they're able to do outside of that with all the tradition, the legacy, everything that's kind of been built here. All right, so we'll get kind of right into it, the rapid fire questions. 9 questions in 90 seconds. You didn't have a chance to see these, so don't be surprised. All right, brought to you by Florida Victorious. Here we go. Question number 1. Who is the best dancer on the team?
Me.
I knew you were going to say that. I already knew you were going to say that right after that. All right, obviously you love your holidays. You kind of said it a little bit earlier. What's your favorite holiday? Halloween. Get to dress up, do everything kind of with that. You talked about dressing up. Who is the worst person that dresses up on the team or someone that just doesn't even participate for it?
Reagan doesn't participate at all.
You got to get her dressing up or doing something. Coach Wallen, he's been there for a long time, 17 years. This has got to be a best Coach Wallen moment, something he's kind of done.
Oh my God. I think it was, he walked into the facility with like this big blow up suit on and it was like, he was like an alien, like the alien. And then he was the cow guy, like the cowboy.
Oh, the one that holds
it.
it.
And he's like, ah, and we were like, what the heck? Like, where did this come from?
Gosh, he's definitely a clown. All right, the pregame song, I've always seen you guys hyped up before the games. What's a song that's always kind of go-to for the team to play?
Get It Sexy. Like, sexy, right?
Of course it is. All right, your go-to celebration after hitting, a double or something like that. I know what it is, but what's your go-to celebration?
Like this?
No, I was going to say the stomps. Every time we have a big play, it's the...
So I guess when I get really, really excited, I like throw my hands down and I scream, but I don't remember doing that.
Because you just black out when you're kind of doing all your runs. All right, any superpower in the world, you can't be speed, you already have that.
Okay.
What would it be?
Invisibility.
Invisibility? So they just can't see you running around the bases?
They can't see me run around.
All right, from Tampa, but you're an Oilers fan. Tampa Bay Lightning or the Oilers?
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Oh, thank God. I mean, after they lost, the Stanley Cup, I would, I would
hold
too.
that over my head.
Go-to meal after a long day out in the field.
Carrabba's pasta.
Carrabba's pasta. They have like the all-you-can-eat kind of pasta now.
Perfect.
Sometimes just.
I didn't know that.
All right, so now I have to quiz you. I do it with everybody. Didn't let you see it before. Your drawing skills. You talked about, well, I know specifically how, families from Canada, big Oilers fan, right? If you didn't know, Panthers beat the Oilers last year in the Stanley Cup. I'm a Panthers fan myself. Are you actually an Oilers fan? Now you have to draw 30 seconds the Oilers logo. Test if you're a true fan or not. You got 30 seconds on the clock. We'll start now. So for those that don't know, no, you got to keep drawing while I'm talking.
I don't
For
even
those
know.
that don't know, Kendra decided to show up in an Oilers jersey when we're all watching the Panthers game, all Panthers fan. Only person showing up in an Oilers jersey. Definitely a bandwagon just because, they're in the Stanley Cup. Obviously, it's proof here now that she's not a true Oilers fan.
Oh my God.
Are you 10 seconds?
I'm like,
You got to make something up now. It's kind of disappointing. Oh my gosh. Time's been up, but is that what we're going with? Obviously not a true Oilers fan. Yeah, stick to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
I had to clown you. I had to be against
2024 Stanley Cup champions, Florida Panthers. Had to kind of throw it in her face about that.
Okay, Tampa won back-to-back.
Well, once again, thank you so much, Kendra Falby and Florida Victorious, for allowing us to do something like this. Super excited to see you guys this season, upcoming, getting back to Omaha, doing everything you guys do, hopefully winning another SEC championship and then win it all this year. So thanks again, Kendra Falby. Episode 11, Wingo out.